Epic Real Estate Investing Podcast, Episode 18.
You're about to meet a man that can show you how he took control of his life and financial future, and how you can do the same. He's never been on TV. He's not a millionaire, and he does not know Donald Trump. He is a full-time real estate investor, newly discovered author, and family man. He does not report to a boss. He creates his own schedule and takes his family on a few vacations every year. He got started investing in real estate with almost no money and a really crummy credit score. And he's going to show you exactly how he did it and how he continues to do it. You will have to work. You will have to be responsible. However, laying by the beach sipping fruity drinks is a reasonable goal. Without further delay, your guru. Your guide to a better life through real estate investing. Matt Theriault.
Hello and greetings from the Epic Real Estate Investing Podcast, the podcast that'll show you how to build wealth through creative real estate investing. And that's what we're going to discuss today, and for a long time to come. So you'll have the option to realistically retire in the next 10 years or less, and enjoy the good life while you're still young enough to do so. My name is Matt Theriault, author, full-time real estate investor, and family man. Now, if this is your first time listening to this show, you're going to want to do two things. First, go back and listen to episode 1 to get the gist of what this show is all about and why it's here. I mean, everything that we discuss from this point forward is just going to make so much more sense to you if you do that. And 2, download the free real estate investing course, How to Do Deals, No Money Required. And you can get that at freerealestateinvestingcourse.com. It's a step-by-step course of how to invest in real estate using no money or credit. And that's yours for free at freerealestateinvestingcourse.com. Okay, so when you hear creative real estate investing or creative financing, what does that mean to you? What does it mean in general? I mean, what are the thoughts that come to your mind when you hear those phrases? Because they're used pretty liberally, and they're used interchangeably. I mean, the word creative, it can be a very broad stroke. Perhaps it's probably easier to define creative real estate investing and creative financing by first defining what it is not. What is not creative real estate investing and creative financing? So to answer that, this is about as uncreative as you can get. First, call a real estate agent and let them know what you're looking for. Second, call a bank and get pre-qualified for a real estate loan. And then third, sit around and wait for your real estate agent to call you to go tour properties. That's conventional real estate investing. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I mean, if you've got the resources to get what you want to get done that way, knock yourself out. But even if you do have those resources available to you, even if you have a lot of money to use, even if you have an amazing credit score, there's a limit to how many real estate loans the banks will allow. I believe it's 4. I think it used to be 10, and then it went back to 4, and it goes back and forth from what I understand. And just a couple of weeks ago, there was a movement to get it increased to 20. And I'm not sure if that went through, and I don't know if that was a rumor, or if that actually happened, or if someone was just, fantasizing. Whatever the limit, though, there is a limit. And once you hit that limit, if you want and or need to keep going in order to achieve your financial goals, your real estate investing goals, you will have to get creative. You're going to have to get creative at some point. And then there's the rest of us who don't have a choice but to get creative. Whether you're limited by money or if your credit score is less than desirable, you've got to get creative. And up to this point in my real estate investing career, I have yet to get a conventional loan for a transaction. And quite honestly, knowing what I know now, I doubt that I ever will. I can create better deals than the bank could really ever offer. And not to mention, I can take action much faster as well. And sometimes the difference between success and failure in a transaction is the speed of which you can act. And on top of that, doing creative financing and creative real estate investing is just fun. It's where the fun is in this business for me. The thrill of putting a deal together using no money or credit and everyone involved still ends up getting what they want is just that. It's a thrill. And there's no limit on how much you can do. And there's no limits to the creativity either. Now, as I've been sifting through all of your burning questions and lining up guests to address them for you, I noticed a great deal of your burning questions revolved around financing and how to find the money. And I'm glad that I asked, because what this survey revealed to me was I haven't covered the subject of money and financing as thoroughly as I had thought. I mean, I created an entire free, step-by-step free real estate investing course around doing deals where no money was required. So maybe I missed something. And actually, I probably missed a lot, as there are countless ways to invest in real estate using no money, or none of your own money specifically. And I guess my free real estate investing course really only covers 2 ways, but they are the easiest ways. They are the easiest 2 ways. And later on in this episode, it'll probably start to make sense as to why you should embrace those 2 easy ways first. So let's begin with this question I received, and there are 4 parts to this question. Where do you find the money for your deals? How do you ask for it? How do you present your opportunities? What do you do to help increase your money partner's comfort level in giving you money and doing business with you? Okay, so there's 4 parts to that question. Great question. So let's take the first part. Where do you find the money for your deals? Well, there are 3 places I always look for the money. And I do it in this order. First, I look at the seller themselves to provide all of the money that I will need in a deal. And after I've found out why the seller needs to sell and what they want out of the sale, then my brain really starts to work with regard to how can they help me help them. Initially, I start to think about how much money do they owe on the property. That's going to dictate a lot of what can and cannot be done. I want to know if their payments are current. And one of the biggies is, when do they need whatever it is that they want out of the sale? I mean, if they own the property free and clear, that's pretty easy. If they have a loan, however, my first choice is to leave the loan in place and do what's most commonly referred to as a subject to deal, of which I will take ownership of the property subject to the existing loan, which means after the transaction is completed, I am on title, but the loan is still in the seller's name. I now babysit their loan, so to speak, by making sure their payments get paid, and done right, I can flip the property for a profit, or I can hold on to it in cash flow. That's the first place that I'm looking for the money. I'm looking at the seller, and if there's a loan in place, I want to leave that current loan in place. That's a lot of money typically that you just found if you can do that. Now, if I need some money above and beyond the existing loan, I look to the seller again for seller financing, for them to carry back an additional mortgage of which, if they agree, I would typically, and I use the word typically because really there are so many variables involved, but typically I would hand this off to a third-party servicing company to wrap that second mortgage into an AITD, an all-inclusive trust deed, also referred to as a wraparound mortgage. You might have heard it referred to in that manner as well. Now, you can keep the 2 loans separate if you want. You can leave the first loan in place with the bank.